Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so I'm going to have a hard time explaining this because I don't understand it myself very well. But Barbara Jones, who's the retired federal judge that was basically acting as an overseer, that's not the term they were using, but as somebody who all business transactions had to sort of go through. She was appointed by the courts for Trump during this fraud trial. She submitted a 12-page report noting inaccuracies and other irregularities. But what I missed and what was being reported on today by Midas Touch and mainstream news is that something about a $48 million loan. So it goes something like this, as I understand it. Midas Touch, thank you again for giving an explanation that I can almost understand. Donald Trump, as part of the Chicago Trump Tower, was tens of millions of dollars in debt. He couldn't pay it. So he negotiated loan forgiveness with Deutsche Bank and other banks to the tune of about $48 million. It might be more. It's not clear what the total amount is. But at a minimum, it's $48 million. And if you've ever done your own taxes, there's a little bit about, have you ever had a loan forgiven for you? And if yes, how much? The reason why it's in your tax forms is if you've had a loan, a debt that you've had, and it's been forgiven, then that loan becomes part of your income and you have to declare it on your taxes. So Trump negotiated this $48 million debt forgiveness, and then created a company called Chicago Unit Acquisition, which bought this debt off of Trump so that Trump would not have to declare the $48 million on his taxes. So it's like the Chicago Unit Acquisition took the debt over from the banks or something along those lines. Again, I'm having a hard time explaining it. But long and short of it, this Chicago Unit Acquisition now has the $48 million. The loan forgiveness. And now it's a debt that Donald Trump owes to that, and there's supposed to be loan documents. Well, lo and behold, there are no loan documents memorializing this debt. Further, Donald Trump owns the Chicago Unit Acquisition. It's funny, when I look at his acquisitions, it has like China acquisitions. It's like, oh, great. So what does he owe China? I'm sure they looked into that because it's his way of keeping track of the frauds he's committing. Long and short of it, Donald Trump needed to... This is legal. You can do this. You can set up a company to do this. But you have to pay back the debts that you've incurred. And Trump had no intention of paying back the debts. There's no loan documentation in place. So this is just kind of like garden variety fraud. So that means that here we go again. The New York, just having this woman overseeing the business transactions and such, she uncovered another $50 million tax fraud scheme that Trump was engaging in. For his part, Trump was saying there's no reason to have her on there anymore. She only found some clerical errors, and it's a waste of a couple $1 million that he's had to pay to have her there for 14 months, etc., etc., etc. Sounds like it's if he paid her $2 million and we're gonna find $50 million of fraud, money well spent. Come on down. What's the energy around this revelation that looks like Donald Trump, unsurprisingly, I guess, entertainment purposes only, has engaged in more tax fraud in New York City? It's been revealed. Guess what? Here's what happens when you have somebody who has a modicum of knowledge what they're doing, overseeing your stuff and asking questions, and look what gets revealed. Yep, it's tax fraud. All this money that you've not been paying, claiming poor mouths. No, it's just flat out tax fraud. And I'm sure if they did a full-on audit of that company, they'd find more examples of this. I have no doubt in my mind. There's your $50 million left out in the cold. This revelation of more tax fraud is going to lead to more... This is Trump's downfall. All right? Not the $50 million per se, nor does this $50 million impact the judgment that Judge Engeron. They're two separate things. But it's going to show that the fraud that's happening is by design. It's part of the business model. When he considers what the damages are going to be, it's part of the business model. Not that he hadn't already figured it out, but it's just more. And I bet you, and I suspect this will lead to an additional case. But yeah, Trump's going to be turned out for this. In the past, we have the Eight of Cups, the walking away. Okay, so this happened probably before Trump walked away from the business, so I don't think he can throw... he can't throw Eric and Don Jr. under the bus for him, for this event. This happened under his watch. It didn't happen after he walked away for the presidency. Oh, God, look at all these cups. Oh, current situation is the Five of Cups. They're finding all of Donald's frauds, and he's not happy. He's not happy at the competence of the people that he's hired to be able to maintain the frauds that he himself is perpetuating. And, you know, I think they've found some fraud, and I think there's still more fraud to be found. He should be happy they haven't found all of it yet, but I think there's more. Ah, yes. The King of Pentacles is not going to be the King of Pentacles for very much longer. This man is going to get fined and sanctioned within an inch of his life. Again, my predictions on my previous video, I'm guessing it's going to be, I originally had between 5 and 600 million, which I was then saying, call it 500 million plus or minus $100 million. Even if it was 250 million, that would be a lot. But I was guessing 5 plus or minus 1. And the last reading I did showed it was a lot closer to 7. So, this is Donald Trump's game. He cannot blame anybody but himself. He's the one who's done this. This is just accountability. This is just after almost over 77 years of the chickens coming home to roost. The lesson to be learned is strength, mastery. He's really good at just committing fraud. He's really, really good at it. He's really good at not paying his taxes and paying his fair share. But, as this woman comes in who's very good at what she does and can look for things, this is kind of accountability. This is accountability now coming in to visit Donald Trump. Again, chickens coming home to roost. Outcome is the world card. This is it. This is the end of Trump.org. This is the end of Trump's worldwide relevancy. He's done. He's done and dusted. The case is going to be done. I wouldn't doubt they bring up another case against him for tax fraud. Now, whether he has any money left to pay it is another thing, but you absolutely bring the case, just in case he comes into money. Oh, and that world card, that could reference something that Sterling, Psychic Medium, had on his show over the weekend, that external sources, i.e. Agents outside the United States, come in and help Trump with his debt funding and such. Oh, man. All right. Not good times. Not much fun. Not much fun for Donald in New York at these cases here. Will the New York AG file more tax fraud? Okay, let's see. Will this lead to further audits of Trump.org? Will this lead to more tax fraud cases being levied against Donald Trump and Trump.org? It may not. It might be that once they dissolve it, but let's see. Nine of Wands, they're going to consider it. I think they'll consider it. $50 million. That's a chunk of change, huh? You commit a tax fraud on $50 million? They might do an audit. This could, again, I asked about audits and pursuits. Oh, good God, it's the same cards. This was on the bottom before, and this was a signifier. Um, they will consider it, it's how much money does Trump Org have after they have to pay whatever settlement that New York's going to make them pay for disgorgement? If they have money left, yeah, they're going to go after it. And will there be an audit? Absolutely. Yeah. If you want to go after the money, let's go ahead. Instead of having case after case after case, I think they'll do an audit to discover everything there is to discover, and then have a single case to recoup all the tax fraud that's happened there. King of Wands is in the past. So this would be like Judge Engoron. Actually, this is going to be Leticia James. As this has progressed and the case is going forward, I don't think Judge Engoron can call for it. It's got to be the district attorney. District attorney is going to look into this case. So now that things are coming to light, they're going to look into it more. They're going to take action on this. This is actionable, and they'll take action on it. Current situation, it's the Five of Swords. Yeah, I mean, they're going to look and see this. They want to get everything there is. They are going to make sure that they've got all the fraud investigated and covered in a follow-up case. Just to seal it up. If nothing else, it will document all the fraud that Trump has perpetuated against the state of New York, and it'll, again, it's going to go after his legacy, his mythology. Heartbreak and betrayal. Trump may not be alive by the time this investigation's done. Certainly, he's lied, cheated, and stolen. He's committed fraud, and he is a fraud. He's a con man. He's been bankrupted 5 or 6 times already. I got no words. I'm beating a dead horse here, and I got the stick beating the dead horse. The drunken hillbilly brawl. But Trumpsters may not know the story, and I think that's part of the issue here, is by investigating this further and exposing all the fraud, you lay low who the man really is. All the lying, cheating, and stealing, and the manipulation of his base, having his base cover for him, pay his bills, so on and so forth. There'll be all sorts of court cases and fighting and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you want to find out exactly what he did and how much it cost. And it's going to be a pretty penny. They're going to find more fraud. And I guess the other thing is I'm wondering if you start linking the money that they find here, the other frauds, to other crimes, which may link it to stuff outside the United States. Now, the Ace of Pentacles could be fool's gold if you want to look at this as low energy type stuff. Like, after they do their investigation, they may not be able to pursue for any cash or liens because there's nothing left. It's not worth it. But I suspect they're going to do the investigation, and I do believe that they're going to go after him for another large sum of money. I don't think it'll be as large as this disgorgement is, but it might be. It's starting off with $50 million, and Leticia James, her original case was $250 million, so you're already 20% of the way there with this fraud. What else is out there? Good God. And again, I mentioned in my other video that I think I said that this company was basically set up to launder money. It doesn't have any procedures in place. There's nothing in place with this thing to actually be run as a legitimate business. It's Keystone Cops, which is why I had the Keystone Cops thumbnail on there. Okay. Will Donald Trump be alive if and when New York brings a case against him for this new fraud. If New York brings a new fraud case, will Donald Trump be alive for it? The answer may be no. The no could be not that he's dead. It's just that they don't bring it. Again, entertainment purposes only. Well, there's the justice card. We can do a 4-carder. Let's do a 4-carder. Temperance. It's going to take time. Justice will be served. It's going to take time to do it. Again, probably because they have to do a deep dive, and there's lots of shell companies, and then you have to get forensic accountants in there. Basically, what I don't know how this is going to work when they're trying to shut down the company. It could be that they don't do much more than this, because again, you're going to liquidate the companies. Page of Wands, the Hanged Man. Wow, look at all these major arcana. Woohoo! Will he be alive for this? I think justice is coming, and justice is going to be. They're going to be hard asses on him. They are absolutely going to be hard asses on him. Yes. So my answer is yes. They are absolutely going to do it. Yeah, this is not the look of a man who's like, oh, that's all right. We'll let it go. Heck no. We want our money. They're going to go basically on an expedition. Yeah, this is messaging, and this is taking action. There's going to be an announcement that they're going to do further investigations on it. These investigations will take a while to do, but they're going to look at all his companies. They're going to look at all the stuff that's going on. Probably, again, Trump's going to try and appeal the ruling. So while he's appealing that, they can just keep on going and just shake the tree and watch all the money he's been hiding in that tree come falling down to the ground like overripe fruit. Oh, God. This guy is so corrupt. One last question, because what's this reading if it doesn't have a little extra snark in it? Actually, there's a couple of questions I want to ask. Will there be some really, really upset Russian oligarchs when if they announce further sanctions against Trump? With this upcoming announcement and further sanctions against Trump, there are going to be some really, really upset Russian oligarchs out there. Entertainment purposes only. I am completely and totally and utterly not implicating or implying anything about money laundering Russian oligarchs and Donald Trump and Trump Org. In that server that talked with Alpha Bank that they haven't figured out what its purpose was for. Come on down. All right. Any Russian oligarchs going to be withholding Donald Trump's Christmas cards going forward? Where's my money? That money. Where's our money? How are you going to get money from him? Oh, dear. Okay. Remember they said they were going to be investigating because that Page of Wands? Guess what they're going for? Yep, we're going to start seeing where all that money came from. Who's been giving him money? Who Donald's been bought and paid for? Oh, God. It's emotional times there. Who's big relationship partners were? Who's been providing him all this money? It's going to be revealed as they do the investigation. They're going to find who his sugar mama is. His sugar mommies are. Does that mean it's Russian oligarchs? It could be. I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't be. To paraphrase his Helsinki moment. This guy is so screwed. I mean, does the punishment go into other lifetimes? I mean, will he even be punished? Well, is there anything like punishment for this? We talk about karma and stuff like that. Is all this embezzlement and money laundering? Is that something that he's going to have to work through in future lifetimes, or was he sent down here to, lie, cheat, and steal with both hands? I don't know. Not my journey. I'm just impacted by it. In the end of the day, is he as corrupt as we think he is? Yeah, probably even more so. Is there anything we can do about it? Not really. Other than, sort of celebrate the fact that justice has arrived. Justice is taking all his money away. And yeah, he got to live high on the hog for almost his entire life. But his legacy is going to be the complete failure that he was. And and the Trump family name is going to be associated with con artists and failure. I'll be curious how it works its way into pop culture, but it probably will. Anyways, we'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your kind words and your likes and your shares and everything you do to help feed the YouTube algorithm, to help my channel get out to a wider audience. And to folks who are just finding my channel for the first time, thank you very much for finding us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I hope to catch you on future readings. Lastly, if you're still here, to the folks who've been really generous recently with the super thanks and such, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I don't expect them, so when I do get them, it's kind of like I get a little notification bell. There's a red dot on it, and I click on it and see what happens. Like, wow, somebody gave me $3. Right on. Oh, no, again, it is appreciated. I'm not begging for money or anything like that. I just want to say thank you again for it. And it's not expected, but it's always a joy when it comes in. Have a great night, and I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.